No, 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 no.
Hey YouTube, this is Lucas, and I'm bringing you a Pendulum Synchro Turbo Monster deck. And this is a great deck. It's just filled with a bunch of searchers and level 4 monsters to try to bring out level 8 Synchro monsters. So to start out the first engine, we have Performapal Engine, and I run triple Performapal Fireflux. And the Fireflux is an amazing card in the Pendulum scale, because whenever your opponent attacks, you contribute a different Performapal monster that you control and negate the attack and end the battle phase. Next Performapal monster, we have Skullcrabat Joker. It's just a standard Performapal card. It searches, adds a Performapal to your hand when you normal summon it. Next we have Monkey Board, which is pretty much the same thing as Skullcrabat, except you put in the scale. Another very staple of the any Performapal engine that you have. We have 2 Lizard Draws. It's great draw power. If you put it in the scale and then you have another Performapal monster, you can destroy the Lizard Draw and draw 1 card. And this is a great combo with the Fireflux, because you destroy the Lizard Draw and then you can put a Fireflux in there, and it's just a great combo. Next we have the Pendulum Sorcerer. Another searcher. If it's special summoned, you can destroy 2 cards you control. Up to 2 cards you control, you can destroy 1, including itself, and then add Performapal monsters from your deck to your hand. I run triple Second Donkey. It's very similar to Skullcrabat Joker. Since Skullcrabat is limited to 1, this is just a great card to have instead. Next, for the Dynamo Engine, I run 2 Plesioses. I don't really use theirs effects. It's just a high scale Dynamo card. And I run Petron, a low scale, and it can be a searcher if you destroy one of their monsters, which doesn't happen very often. And then next engine, I have Magicians, 2 Dragon Pulse Magicians. Just a good low scale Magician card. Then I have 1 Wisdom Eye Magician. It's a high scale, and then you can destroy it and put a different Magician card in your scale just to fuel your extra deck, which is very useful. Next, for the Draco Slayer engine, we have 2 Vectors. It's 1,850 attack, which is pretty good, and it's just a good card to have for Draco Slayers. Then we have 2 Master Pendulum, the Draco Slayer. He's got 1,950 attack, once again pretty solid. And then, of course, the 1 Tuner, which is limited to 1. Very good card for Ignister. Now for the tuners to summon the Synchros, we run triple Blackwing Decay, the Ill Wind. It's just a level 4 Dark Tuner, which is good for getting out Beals. Also, it has an effect that if it's summoned, you can decrease its level by 1 or increase its level by 1, which helps you to summon level 7 Synchros as well, which is useful. And also, the downfall of this card is if it's in your graveyard during the end phase, you take 1,000 damage, which kind of hurts. Then 1 Mist Valley Soldier. It's just a level 4 tuner. It don't really use its effect very often, just to synchro out monsters. Then I have triple Blackwing Kochi the Daybreak. Just a level 4 Dark Tuner, once again, very useful. The only problem is it can't be special summoned and then used for a synchro, so you just have to normal summon it, which usually isn't a problem. Now for spell cards, I run triple Draw Muscle. It's a very good card. It's almost like an upstart, except you can also play it in your opponent's turn and target a defense position monster you control, and then it can't be destroyed by battle, which can be very useful as well. Considering most of the cards that we have are 1,000 or less defense, and since it's Pendulum, you can almost always summon them in defense. Then run 1 Upstart, very staple card. 1 Forbidden Dress, which is good for Beals, because then you can target Beals and then it can't be targeted, destroyed, or beaten by battle. And it's just a very useful card. Then we run 1 Pendulum Call, just to search out more Magician cards. Another very useful card. 1 Draco Face Off, just to get your tuner, and some other one that you can either put in your scale or summon. Very, very good card as well. Then I run triple Dynamis Charge. search out your Dynamis cards. With that, you can either get Petron or Plesios, which is a lower high scale, and then also if one of them is destroyed, it goes to your extra deck, and then you can return it to your hand instead, which is good if they're destroying your scales, because then you can just put it right back in your scale. Then for trap cards, I want Run Bottomless Trap Hole, the only trap card I run, just a good, useful card to have. Now for extra deck, level 8 Synchro monsters, I have one Beals. He's just an amazing card, can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. This is pretty much the main point of this deck, is to summon out Beals, and then they can't really do much. One Void Ogre Dragon. Most of the time you don't have cards in your hand because they're either summoned or set. So another good card to have, if they activate any spell card during their turn, you can just negate it once per turn. Very good card, also 3,000 attack. One Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. Destroys all face-up attack position monsters on the field, which is very good in a Pendulum deck, because if yours die, they can just go, you can just summon them out next turn. One Ignister, very good card. It can also be used very, very well against different Pendulum decks. And then it can also summon a different Draco Slayer monster, which also helps you fill your extra deck. One Stardust Dragon, pretty standard, it can just negate effects. Don't summon him very often. One Infernity Doom Dragon, just another, you don't have any cards in your hand. You can destroy one monster your opponent controls and then inflict damage equal to half of its attack, which is pretty good most of the time. One Black Rose Dragon, if you don't like the field, you can just wipe the field completely with Black Rose Dragon. Very useful card as well. One Michael the Arch Lightsworn, I don't summon him very often, but he can banish cards, paying 1,000 life points, very good as well. One Clearwing Synchro Dragon, it can just negate your opponent's monster's effects, which pretty much shuts down every deck, very useful. One Paladin, he can add a Pendulum monster to your hand, which is useful sometimes. Most of the time I don't really summon him because you most of the time have Pendulum monsters in your hand enough, so you don't need him. One Silent Honor and one Castel, just to get rid of your opponent's monsters if they can't be destroyed. Two Dark Rebellion Dragons, very good card. It can beat any monster by battle, and it gains a ton of attack, very useful. And then one Dinosaur, Power the Mighty Draco Slayer. I don't summon him very often, but he can be useful to not so that your Pendulum monsters can't be destroyed. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.